Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is Donald Yates, MaBstoa Vice President. I'm going to kind of give you the state of what's going on in MaBstoa and our union as a whole. For starters, we've had some concerns going on at the Mac Center that we've been getting into, and we believe we delivered on when it comes to our dignity and respect. But as far as the federal guidelines for those who are carrying commercial driver's licenses and what the federal guidelines are and what the changes that you are seeing at the Mac Center is a reflection on what the law is. So, my advice is to familiarize yourself with the law. It's very simply put on the internet under with the federal guidelines as a driver's license, federal guidelines as a commercial driver's carrier is, and you can also look into specifics as to why or for what reason things are in place that it will either prevent you from operating a bus or for what would be a qualifying issue to keep you in service. As an example, your diabetes or kidney functions, things like that. There is a guideline. Injection fraction of your heart, there is a guideline, and it all falls under the federal guidelines of the commercial driver's license. You could put some of these inputs in, and you can get specific answers on those things. Moving on, federal unions have been under attack. Now, many people are not really aware that the federal unions, while they're not part of TWU Local 100, they are part of the bigger faction, which is the AFL-CIO. And the AFL-CIO, we believe, is under attack in a whole to attack our war chest. What we do, the carbon footprint that we put out in order to fight those against organized labor. That's basically the summary of it all. The folks who are attacking the labor movement and attacking the federal workforce is in fact attacking labor as a whole. So we have to get involved with that. We have to all get involved, and we have been organizing and bringing this message out there in order to do just that, so we can be educated on why we should be empowered to fight back. Right? Artificial intelligence is an issue that we're always going to be compromised with. So we have to start learning more and more about artificial intelligence. But I always speak, don't use the system so much where you're dumbing yourself down. Artificial intelligence is like the new wave. I always speak of it in the sense of the old show that used to come on, Battlestar Galactica, and where they used the Cylons, and the Cylons went away for so many years and came back, and they tried to eliminate mankind. There has been some discussion on artificial intelligence and its capabilities, and there is a belief system and that they have the capabilities of eliminating man. So we have to always stay ahead of this. All right. We had recently a workers' memorial event, and that was May Day, May 1st, May Day. We went there to join hands with other workers, and basically we had the theme of the what's going on with the federal workers, and we can never forget that we have to be there for them. Family Day. Family Day is coming up, and that's going to be on June 7th. That's actually this Saturday. You need to be out there. If you haven't registered, get in the computer on the website, look to the right side of the computer where you'll see Family Day, and register your pass and register how many guests you're coming. So, we often talk about fights and why the messaging is the way it is, particularly with the AFL-CIO, and it brings me to describe money and finance impacts. So basically, money makes the world go round. We all know that. Money makes the world go round. Money is the root of all evilness. But money and finances and how it's impactful is the reason why labor is under attack. They want to take away the pocketbook, right? And these money and financial impacts also happen in the individual depots that we have, because there's a budget issued for every depot. So, as an example of that, it's very hard to maintain a budget in the Department of Buses because of the overtime, and it's customer driven. And then when people aren't at work for whatever reason, whether they're sick or injured on duty or assaulted, those runs still have to be covered. And then if they're not covered with manpower, they have to be covered through overtime manpower. And then we always blow the Department of Buses budget. So the financial impacts, which you'll see in today's climate, because of the artificial intelligence and all the other computer driven issues, such as the GPS and the breadcrumbing they are able to do. They are trying to get their money back by coming after our operators for things like falsifying things on overtime, such as a cut slip and things of that nature. We're warning you not to do anything that's out of the ordinary. In other words, and as an example, if you go to the end of the line, don't call a personal, spend 30 minutes on a personal, and then come back and then come and claim a cut slip, because they are watching those type of things, and they have the technology and the capabilities to basically see what you're doing. So we're just bringing this off to you guys as a warning. For those of you who have done it, watch your back. For those of you who haven't done it and you think things are proper, be careful of some of those things. All right. Cell phone and Bluetooth, glasses, all of these things are still conversations we're still talking about. They're actively out here to make sure that you're in compliance with the cell phone policy. You got to watch yourself out here. It's not really worth your job. It's not really worth getting a demotion. In MaBstoa, and I'm saying it here publicly, right? It used to take 11 months to get a job. It seems like it's taking 13, 14 months to get a job once you are demoted. You have to be mindful of that. By you violating these policies, you will put yourself in an unemployment status. Be careful. Like I said about cut slips and bus track, it's tying all together with the artificial intelligence and why we have to be mindful and careful of what we're doing out there. Because if we're not careful of what we're doing out there, what happens is that they're going to come and they're going to just look on their computer and they're going to start picking us off one at a time. We do not want that to happen. We want us to understand what's going on, understand the technology, and be ready to fight on another front. We shouldn't be going into these type of fights, because we're going to lose those fights, right? Chronic absenteeism. They're starting to hit us on chronic absenteeism. Give me a break. Give me a second. They're starting to hit us on chronic absenteeism, and they're charging our people. And what they're doing is they're first giving you a 21-day letter. Hear my words. They're giving you a 21-day letter. What does that 21-day letter entail? You documented the absences already. Why am I getting a 21-day letter asking me to redocument absences? Because you don't have FMLA, because FMLA, they can't charge you with chronic if you have FMLA. FMLA is the only thing that protects you from chronic. So once you don't have FMLA and you get charged with chronic, you get a 21-day letter. What we suggest is you get some type of a simple narrative of whatever your chronic condition is, and make sure you mail it back to 2 Broadway. They give you 21 days, but we tell you to get the quality documentation, and that's the only time that you're allowed to get documentation outside of a sick form. Get quality documentation. Get a simple narrative from your doctor. your treating physicians, whatever tests they've been doing on you, and you send it back to 2 Broadway. And then if you don't hear from it no more, then that's what it is. If you didn't hear from it, you still go through the disciplinary grievance process, which a lot of times we can win those. So just keep that in mind. As a union, our key themes is always collective bargaining, worker empowerment, improved working conditions. We're involved with community impacts. We advocate and have political action. And we are very important about the political action because that's where our fight is for things like pensions and things of that nature. And we have to keep pushing forward. And your donations mean a lot with when you donate the coat. In essence, the labor union message is very clear. It's about empowering workers, advocating for fair treatment, and building a better future for all. And basically, that's what we're here for. Please take heed, ask questions. I'll dialogue with you. Believe in the power of solidarity. Just these fundamental things, we can win what we need to win. You heard me say it a lot. You heard me say it a lot of times, and you heard me saying it even right now. The AFL-CIO has been under attack by the current administration, an example, the federal workers. We have to get on board and fight side by side with them. We must stand together everywhere and with every union. We must usher in a new crew of freedom fighters who are in for the fight to represent everyone, not just yourself. We have to be in to represent everyone. Remember, and I'm going to close with this, when we fight, we win.